Om Sai Ram. Nice to have you at this English class. Today we're going to do part 3 of this beautiful story of I Must Know the Truth. We're going to first review the section 2 of our last class. As you remember, Simi is writing this story about her sister Ardana. And she was backstage right before this big performance. And the sister of her mother, Aunt Pramila, came, and Ardana rolled her eyes. Oh no, Aunt Pramila, not her favorite aunt. She came, and so with the grandmother and the mother, and then Aunt Pramila was pulled aside by the grandmother because she said that Ardana looked dark and skinny, and the grandmother did not want her to say anything more. Okay, so she pulled Aunt Pramila aside and said, please don't talk. Anyway, Pramila talked very loudly, and she said that her mother, Sunita, should have told that Ardana was adopted. And she said it in a soft voice, but just loud enough for Ardana to hear. So Ardana is shocked and shattered upon finding out that she is adopted. The grandmother did not tell her. It was Aunt Pramila, because the grandmother and Aunt Pramila were aside talking in a low voice, but Aunt Pramila talked too loud, and Ardana heard this. She told us so loud that she heard it, and she did not want to meet anybody. She did not want to dance. She was shocked. You can imagine how you live your whole life with your mother and father, and then at almost 18 years, you find out that you're adopted. And these are not your real parents, they're adopted parents. You haven't been told this before. So let's see what happens. In this section 3, we're going to find out what makes a mother love her child, okay? Does she love their child because she gave birth to it, or because she cares for it? That is, shares the child's joys and sorrows over the years. What does Ardana's mother believe? What does Sunita believe? We'll find out. So the story continues. Within seconds, now this is Simi has been sent to get the mother, okay? Because the grandmother wants the mother to tell Ardana about her adoption. I returned with my mother to the makeup room, but Ardana was not there. So they're looking around, and Ardana's not there. And Sunita says, where is she? Asked my mother. What happened? So Aunt Pramila was there, okay? And Ardana wasn't there. Aunt Pramila's eyes were hard. They were not full of love. And she said, she left through this door. Sunita, and it's your fault. You should have told her, this child, earlier that she was adopted. The family knew it, but the child did not know it, okay? So Aunt Pramila chose this time to let the cat out of the bag. So what does the mother do, okay? Pramila, okay, said my mother in a voice that made my flesh creep. Poor Simi had never heard her mother talk in such a strong voice, okay? So, why don't you mind your own business? For heaven's sakes, how could you tell her now? The mother was just amazed that Aunt Pramila would pick this inopportune moment to say this. Made my flesh creep, a wave of fear. Simi was afraid of her own mother because she used such a strong voice. Okay, why did the mother react in this manner? Because the mother was not happy with her sister Aunt Pramila and the way she revealed this to Ardana. It was not very nice. Here is Aunt Pramila, okay? She is the member of the family that just talks loud and has a little tamasa quality. And you can see that the sister, Sunita, just told her, why don't you mind your own business? And here she is, she's looking sad. She didn't really want to cause problems, but she didn't know the right thing to do. She wasn't speaking in a sattvic manner, okay? And she said this statement to Ardana. She overheard it, and she was very, very upset. And so even the aunt, you can see she's not happy. She thinks she made a mistake, okay? So what happens next? The mother, okay, pulling me along, shot past Aunt Pramila, through the door, and into the backyard. And there we stood on the pebbled ground, scanning the empty yard helplessly. We're trying to find Ardana. She ran out of the stage. She ran out of the building, and she's supposed to dance, okay? So the mother goes, "Ardana," called my mother softly. "Ardana." There was no answer. "Ardana," she cried beseechingly. "Do you hear me? Ardana, do you hear me? Ardana, darling, answer me." This time more desperately. She was desperate. She wanted to find her daughter. The wind carried her voice away, brought no answer. It was dead quiet. So then the mother turns to Simi and says, "Search for her in the back." Okay? My mother turned. "I will check for her in the park." So they were going to go two different directions. What happens next? What was the mother's feeling at this point of time when there was no answer? Here she's back there calling for her daughter who'd just been told she was adopted by her unfavored aunt. She was worried about Ardana. She didn't know what Ardana was going to do. Quickly on our vocabulary, shot past means very quickly. Shot past Aunt Pramila. She didn't want to talk to Aunt Pramila. Okay, pebbled. We know when the area is pebbled, it's covered with stones. Scanning. She scanned the area. Where are you, Ardana? She's looking keenly. Beseechingly, earnestly, Ardana, Ardana. She wanted Ardana to respond. And then we have desperately. She was desperate to hear her daughter's voice. And then we have another word, response. She wanted Ardana to respond to her, to reply to her. So, Simi goes, she's turned and started walking in a daze. All this happens so fast, okay? Simi's in a daze, all right? When I suddenly heard a muffled cry, followed by another cry, fierce, full of hate, I knew that my mother had found her, because she heard this racket going on. They stood over there under a peepal tree, okay, facing each other. So Simi sees them and walks towards them. My sister, and she's broad-shouldered, she's very good-looking, angular features, was looking down. She's taller than the mother, and she's looking down at the mother. Ardana pulled the flowers out of her hair. She's getting ready to dance. She pulled the flowers out of her hair, and she said to the mother, okay, she cried, "You deceived me, you and Papa, all of you. I hate you. I hate all of you, everybody, everything." Poor Ardana feels so emotional. So, why did these words come? What do these words from Ardana reveal about her feelings? You can see she's so flustered, and she hates the situation. She doesn't want to be there, but unfortunately, she is there. In a daze, Simi is in a daze. This is all happening too quickly for her. Subdued, muffled cry. It was a cry from Ardana. Fierce, violent, loud, powerful. And the second cry was louder. So let's see what happens. So Simi runs towards her sister and says, "No, Ardana," I pleaded. "Don't say that, please, don't say that." The sister loves her so much, you know. She doesn't want Ardana not to love her, okay? But Ardana was such a fluster. She was so emotional. She did not see me, or she did not hear me. She was like talking to a blank wall. Her shoulders trembled as she turned away from both the mother and me. Ardna just turned away. She was trembling. She was just shocked about this being adopted. So the mother says, Ardna, my mother said quietly, we love you, my child. Please, and we believe me, we will always love you. You are our child. She's talking in the sweetest, loving, most tone, okay? For almost 18 years I have cared for you. I have laughed with you and have cried for you. I have given you 18 years of my life. Don't you think that counts more, okay, than being carried in 9 months inside my womb? Tell me, dear. Well, she's saying this, but Ardna, there was no response. So let's go over the vocabulary. For almost 18 years, can you feel the love of the mothers through these words? Of course. For 18 years, Ardna, I carried you. I loved you. I cried with you. I laughed with you. So, pleaded means, okay, requested, appealed, all right? She's pleading with her. Simi's saying, please don't say that, Ardna. Counts more means more important, all right? A higher counting. Womb is another term for abdomen. It's the part of the woman's body where you carry the child. Ardna, okay, the mothers keep going on. She goes, entreated my mother softly, answer me. And then Ardna looks at the mother and says, I don't know. And she's sobbing. She's just, I don't know, said Ardna, okay? She buried her face in her hands, and all I can hear was the smothered echo and the muffled cry. Because she has her face in her hands, I don't know. So the voice is muffled. You can hardly hear it, but she's saying, I don't know. Then the mother says to her, but I know, the mother said quietly, and Papa and Simi know. All right? So Simi is nodding, yes, vigorously. Yeah, we love you, okay? Look, darling, look at this necklace. Papa and I bought it for you. We want you to wear it today. This is just a token, a part of telling you how much we love you, how much we care. And she pulled out a box with this beautiful necklace. So entreated, was requested by my mother, answer me. Smothered, she smothered her voice because she had her face in her hands. It was suppressed and tight. We couldn't hear it very well. Baffled cry, okay, she was perplexed. I don't know. Ardna didn't know what was really going on at this moment. Vigorously, strongly, yes, I love you, Ardna. We're sisters, okay? So here is the necklace, okay? The mother opened up the box and brought out this beautiful necklace, very delicate and gentle. You can see it's a heart, okay? And bought with a lot of love, and bought for her 18th birthday, but they decided to give it to her early because she's doing this big dance. And so she takes this beautiful necklace, okay, and she's presenting it to her daughter, full of love. And you can see the nice feeling in this necklace. My sister turned and fixed her gaze on the small box in my mother's hand, extended hand. She didn't move. Okay, my mother took out the necklace, the delicate necklace, from the box and pressed it into my sister's hand. Don't you feel my love for you, Ardna? Can't you feel it? You saw the beautiful necklace, okay? And she's putting it into the daughter's hands with a lot of love and saying, can't you feel the love I'm giving you right now? And it was fortunate they brought the necklace, okay? Because this is a very emotional situation here, finding out you're adopted. My sister whimpered pitifully, okay? Oh, she's whimpering, okay? So the mother goes on. Ask yourself, said my mother, and if you are my daughter, okay, if you are the daughter I know, the daughter I love, you will come back into the hall and go onto that stage and dance. And this is what she tells her daughter, giving her the necklace at the same time. Okay? The cry of love of a mother. Don't you feel my love for you? It's how much the mother loves her. So vocabulary, extended. She extended, she outreached her hand. Because the mother keeps going on, and now her voice is changing a little bit. She asserted firmly, nothing has changed today. Nothing at all. Okay? Mother held her for a minute. So then she hugs Ardna and just gives her a full love, full heart-to-heart love for a minute, okay? And Ardna's holding the necklace and the mother's hugging her for a whole minute, just transmitting love into Ardna's heart and her hand and her necklace and her body, okay? I hugged her for a minute, and then the mother turned and left, okay? And as she's leaving, she's just shocked. She goes, "Mommy," I cried. "You can't leave her alone. Help her, please." Simi wanted the mother to give more energy to her, okay, even though she gave a lot of energy. Mother didn't look at me as she answered in a dead voice. Dead voice means monotone, okay? Serious voice, okay? "I can't help her any more than I have Simi. Nobody can. She has to herself find the truth, know the truth, okay? See the truth. And the sooner she does it, the better it is." So she said that very strongly. Nobody can help her. She has to see the truth herself, and the sooner she does, the better it is. She felt silent. After that, she fell silent. But from the way she held her head, I knew she was crying. Okay? So the mother said this, but she was walking away and she was crying. So, what truth does the mother expect Ardna to see? Well, it's obvious. The mother had just hugged her for a minute, gave her this incredible necklace, has told her that she's loved her for 18 years, and it doesn't make any difference which womb you're carried in, but her love is always going to be there, no matter what happens. So based on this part, this is part 3 of our story, we have intent questions, just to see how you've been paying attention, all right? So, number 1, for how many years had Ardna been with her adopted parents? Okay, her 18th birthday is coming up in a month, okay? So the answer is almost 18 years, all right? Had they shared her joys and sorrows? Of course. When you have a child, that's what you do. Your life is centered around this child for almost 18 years. C, how does Ardna's mother express this? Pick out the words from the text. She tells her that you've been with me for 18 years. It's better than being in my womb. I have this necklace. You see this necklace. Can't you feel the love I have? These are the words. And she expresses it by giving this beautiful necklace to her at the right moment, at a very emotional moment in Ardna's life. 2, what gift had Ardna's parents got for her? The nice necklace. That's the gift. Why did Ardna's mother give it to her on the day of the school's annual function? Because Ardna was chosen to start this whole function. Here she is going to school, and she is picked out of all the girls to do the opening dance, the most important dance of the whole function. So they thought, well, instead of waiting for 18th birthday, let's give it to her now. And they were very prophetic in the fact that they brought this necklace because Aunt Pramila spilled the beans, okay, and got this whole emotional thing about being adopted brought up right at the worst moment you could hear it, okay, right in front of a big dance, okay? Why was Ardna's heart broken, right? Well, because her aunt said, look, your mother should have told you before now, okay, and you're adopted, all right? And that's why her heart was broken, okay? The aunt is just very honest and not in the right frame of mind and not sattvic about saying things. And so the situation occurred, all right? And she's heartbroken. And then 4, okay, nothing has changed, nothing at all. Who said this? The mother said this in a sweet, loving voice to Ardna. What has not changed? The way she feels about her daughter. She loves her for 18 years. She adopted her and just wants to give her love and have her come into this beautiful child and beautiful adult. What does Ardna's mother ask her to do to prove her love for her parents? So now the mother, okay, told her and hugged her and gave her the necklace and said, there's nothing more I can do. If you're the daughter and you can feel our love and we know who you are, okay, and we'll always love you, you will go out and dance, okay? Because you're picked to dance and everybody's waiting for you to do this opening dance. So this is where we end the third part of our story. Now, let's have a possible idea about what the whole class can do. Possible debate. Is the love of the biological mother, the one who had the child in the womb, greater than that of a foster mother, the one who adopts the child, okay, and brings her up, okay? Divide into 2 groups to argue on this motion, okay? This motion of whose love is greater. I say the biological mother's love is greater, and the other side will say the adopted mother's love is greater, okay? Foster mother's love or biological mother's love. Which is bigger? Which is more true, okay? Appoint 1 or 2 individuals as judges to evaluate the debate and to give a final verdict, okay? So this is a debate that will go on for a while. And as you know, in the story about Krishna's life, okay, he was born to Devaka in a prison, all right? And during the pregnancy, the 9 months, her body blossomed and the Lord was being carried in her stomach. And right before the birth took place, okay, Narayana appeared and said, I'm coming into your womb for the birth of the child. And then the child was born. And here is this beautiful little Krishna born, all right, to Devaki. And she is just so in love with this child, okay? But then the father comes, Vasudeva, and says, we've got to get this child out of here. Your brother wants to kill this child, you know? So wraps it up and takes it over to Yashoda. And Yashoda, okay, just had a baby girl, but there was no lights. She didn't know it was a baby girl. And the father, okay, switched the babies. And then now she fell asleep. Krishna's there sleeping next to her, okay? Little baby Krishna. So she wakes up and she sees a baby boy, and it's so beautiful. And she loves Krishna for the whole time he was growing up, okay? So there we have a situation. Here you've got God growing up with you. Here you have God born in you. They both love the child a lot. Now, what's the takeaway from this section? In fact, from this whole story, okay? Showing of appreciation to your mother. You're the one who's reading, all right? Anybody that reads the story will think heavy thoughts about their mother, light thoughts about their mother, deep thoughts about the mother. What does the mother really do for you? And most of you have a mother that raised you in the womb and raised you outside of the womb, both sides, okay? Think of ways to show your appreciation to your mother. Share your ideas with your fellow classmates. As a class, you can talk about this. What are some clever ways that we can show our mother how much we love her, okay? Come up with some ingenious ideas. You're all smart students, okay? You're speaking fluent English. There's so many love stories and stories about parents and stories about mother's love. And you can share these with your mother and do some creative things. So here we are, Ardna starting her dance. Does she start the dance? Okay. Now we have to wait for section 4, okay, which will come up in our next class. Does she start the dance? Is she going to do the mudras? Is she going to show her mother how much she loves her? Is she going to run away? What is she going to do? So we'll see you in the next lesson, lesson number 4, on I must know the truth. Om Sai Ram.